If you're looking to have a fun universe mode here in WWE 2K26, then I got you guys with a bunch of quick and easy booking tips to go ahead and help you out. So let's go ahead and hop into it. The first quick and easy tip goes all the way back to building your rosters, as that, in my opinion, is the #1 reason I see people really don't have fun in universe mode, because they don't balance their rosters correctly. There's a tip I have: take each division, the main event, mid-card, and tag, and split them into 2 separate groups. Your legitimate champion contenders and champions, like a Gunther, a Cody Rhodes, a Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. Those are superstars you want to say are like your legit contenders. Then you have to have supporting cast in each division. You know, think about guys like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn. They've all had chance after chance to win titles, but they just never seem to do it, as they're really there to mostly elevate your bigger superstars. And that's a great way to really set up buffers, because you don't want every match for a world title to be a big match after big match, like a CM Punk versus Seth, then immediately Roman, then immediately Randy Orton, immediately Braun Breaker, because then you run out of matches and you get bored after like 6 months. So that's why you want to set up these divisions to have 2 separate groups, the legit contenders, and then your supporting cast. But also make sure to really hype up your supporting cast before they get that world title chance in that buffer period. Let Sami Zayn take on like a Sheamus and let him get a win there to really elevate him. That way he becomes a legit contender. So we want to focus on, obviously, hyping up your big superstars with a win over a supporting cast. Make sure your supporting cast also gets some love beforehand. Another thing I really want to talk about is make sure a guy like Sheamus, he's kind of a tweener, right? He can be in the mid-card for the most part, but he could also get an opportunity as a supporting cast member in the main event scene. So when building your rosters, think about the new promo system. With the new promos, you can have superstars change divisions all the time. So think about how you want to build, those tweeners like a Damian Priest, a Sheamus, a Bronson Reed. Those are guys you want to, really balance out, keep them mixed on different rosters. That way you have at least one person, you really want 2 or 3, maybe even a Dominic Mysterio, where you can have them be in the mid-card for a bit, then easily choose that promo option, have them switch divisions, and really contend for that world title. Next is how to quick and easily build 3-person feuds, because for some reason they're not in the game still and everyone's upset about it, but there are some great rivalry actions that you could manually book really quickly for you to have some fun with 3-person rivalries. One is the post-match wild attack. In this case, you'd have a heel come in after a match and attack both superstars after a singles match. There's a winner saves a loser, which is a great option if you have 2 faces and a heel you want in a 3-person feud. Or basically, the heel would come in after the match, attack the loser, and the winner, who was a face of that match, comes in and makes the save. Then you have a third-party entrance attack. This is more so for if you have 2 heels and 1 face, where you can say a face and a heel are going to face off in a singles match, the face is coming down, then a second heel comes out and attacks that face. That obviously causes an issue there, but then you could say the original heel from the match is mad at the second heel for getting involved. And then you have the ringside guest removal. This is once again going to be more of, it could be a face and a face against 1 heel, or 2 heels and 1 face for this feud, where obviously the ringside guest is a heel trying to get involved with a face in the match, cause some issues, and that happens. Then also, another great way from a news standpoint is, after you can do a post-match interview as a new promo option. You can have the post-match go to say that superstar says they want to become the #1 contender for a world title or a mid-card title or a tag. What that happens is that can trigger the real #1 contender from the rankings in game to come out and have a little bit of a face-off. This can set up a triple threat feud between those 2 contenders and then your world champion or mid-card champion or tag champions. So those are 5 great ways to really set up triple threat feuds really quick and easy, even though it's not a base game option. Now our second tip is going to extend further beyond who's going to be in each feud. It's how do you want to set up and extend feuds that goes further than the rivalry actions in game. It's been a long time, pretty much a decade since we had the story collection, if anyone remembers that for universe mode. And since then it's more of these weird rivalry actions which you can work out using them and have them be fine. But I feel it doesn't really connect with real life and how feuds can start and finish as well as it could have. So one thing to keep in mind is don't just use rivalry actions to extend and start feuds. You can use the special matches around PLEs. I, for one, like how in real life it seems like every year the Royal Rumble, one person eliminates another and those 2 go on to feud because of that and have a match at Mania. Also, Money in the Bank could be big. You could have 2 stars who maybe you start a feud with, and then it continues to Money in the Bank, where they're both in the match, neither of them win the Money in the Bank, but you get that added story of they got in each other's way, that kind of thing, and it extends the rivalry. And it's on the road to SummerSlam, it's on the road to Bad Blood, so you can have that final payoff be extended until SummerSlam, or Bad Blood in a Hell in a Cell match. Also, don't be afraid to use war games, especially for faction stories and rivalries, even single feuds on their own. Maybe it's two factions going against each other, ultimately, but the main single star in each faction use that as a way to kind of push their rivalry towards Mania. You want to make sure you take advantage of every opportunity in the game to be creative, besides the rivalry actions, because a lot of things happen in WWE that just don't happen with these specific rivalry actions in Universe Mode. So get creative, use these special matches, don't be afraid to. And maybe you're not even planning to use it for rivalry, but something happens in the game that makes you think, oh, this could be the start of something. It can continue something. So just pay attention to that, maybe focus on it to begin with, but if something happens, take it as an advantage to start a feud. Now, how to book the 4 new match types in the game this year. You're not going to book the dumpster match and I Quit match the same, they're going to be different. As a dumpster match, it should generally just be a mid-card feud, not even for a title. Think Chelsea Green and Michin, that makes the most sense to me. So it could be for a title, maybe not the mid-card title, either or works, but it's going to be on a weekly show, and it could either be used to end a feud or honestly continue a feud. Either one works. Then for the Inferno match, this can also be used to either end a feud or continue it. It could work either, in my opinion, on the weekly show or the PLE. Then with your I Quit match and 3 Stages of Hell, those should generally be feud enders. You know, the WWE decided not to with Cody and Drew, with random booking changes for WrestleMania, is what it is. But to make it really make sense, it should be a PLE main event ending feud, as that way you can't get any further along these match types than a 3 Stages of Hell or an I Quit match. So make those your PLE enders to really move on to whatever's next. And those are the differences in how you want to book those 4 new match types. Now for our third tip. It feels like when people start to really get into these rosters, get feuds going, they find that it's hard to keep everyone involved. So with an overcrowded roster, tip 3 takes advantage of injuries. In-game with the rivalry action, the injuries doesn't seem to work. I don't know how many years in a row now, 3 years I think with the rivalry actions, it does not work. Previous games before the rivalry actions with other Universe Mode systems didn't work. But you can just make injuries on your own. Because in real life, whether it's an attack, like just recently, Seth Rollins attacked Roman Reigns. The reports are Roman Reigns is going to be out until June. So have a post-match attack option in the rivalry actions, and then take the person off the roster. Have them return to set up a feud for later. Also, over a decade ago now, there was the Chris Jericho turn on Edge, which ultimately led that Royal Rumble return for Edge, and led to their WrestleMania match. I believe it was WrestleMania match. I forget. It's been so long. But it's these attacks that can allow you to have a guy injured for a little bit and then bring them back later. Because if you take them out of the picture for a little bit, the roster becomes less crowded, and then eventually you bring them back to that big payoff. So it's a win-win in the short term. Less crowded roster makes it easier, less anxiety about getting everyone on the shows, and then you get the big payoff later. Also, it doesn't even need to be attacks. Think about a Hell in a Cell match, how brutal the Punk and Drew McIntyre match was. Think about a street fight. Think of those tag matches post Mania 40, I believe, maybe it was 39, I'm already forgetting, of Sami and KO versus the Judgment Day. You can have injuries there, and it doesn't even need to lead to a future feud. It could just be, oh, this superstar got hurt losing a feud, and then they'll come back in 3 months, 6 months, whatever it be, to set up a big run for them in the future, while also making the roster less crowded now. So make sure to take advantage of injuries, because they happen in real life, whether it's an accidental one like Charlotte Flair or a planned one like Roman Reigns. Injuries happen, and it allows you to shake up your roster in the immediate time, while also setting up big future plans later. Now for our fourth tip, we're going to go in the other direction of tip 3, and we're going to focus on expanding our roster. You got to remember, some superstars may get stale, some you may not use, and you might think, maybe I'm better off replacing them and adding some new ones in. So obviously the easy one is, post-Mania, maybe you have some NXT Call-Ups like in real life. You know, you have Trick Williams everyone's waiting for, Obafemi. On the women's side, you have Julia, Stephanie Valkyr. You got a lot of NXT Call-Ups ready to come up. That'll be exciting as you can add them to the mid-card divisions, maybe make some tag teams, really freshen up your universe mode. But also, don't forget about maybe some additions of returning superstars who used to be in the WWE, or new ones making the jump to WWE. Right now in real life, we just had Rusev and Aleister Black return. You can have them make their returns in your universe mode. as they'll be able to make huge impacts to the mid-card probably day one if you want them to. Also, what about some additions of returning superstars to the main event scene? What about an alternate universe where Edge or Daniel Bryan make that comeback and immediately shake up the main event scene? Put them in the main event title pictures for the world titles. That could be a lot of fun to do a couple of years in. Then on the women's side, maybe think not even of returns of old superstars, what about just the new ones coming in? For those who may not know, Mariah May, who's in AEW, there's a lot of rumors that her contract's coming up and she might be looking to jump ship to WWE. What if she makes an immediate impact and you add her into your universe? Do you want her in the mid-card? Main event scene? You could do whatever. So make sure to take advantage of not just the NXT call-ups of the superstars in the game, but head over to Community Creations, focus on some wrestlers outside the WWE, and add them in to add excitement later on in your universe mode. Whether it's a post-WrestleMania, Raw after Mania push, maybe something for SummerSlam, maybe to build up a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble. Make sure to add in new superstars, keep it fresh. It brings you new ideas, especially if you start to get like your universe mode file a little stale. We're not really having any new ideas. Just freshen it up, add someone new, make it exciting. For tip number 5, it's going to be a little bit on the same reasoning for tip number 4. It's when your universe mode is starting to become a little stale, you're not really sure that next direction. What I like to do is use ChatGPT. It's actually really good for coming up with ideas for new feuds, new storylines. It can even help with promos. So for coming up with feuds, I do a couple different things. One, I can list the superstars that I want to have in a feud, and I could be like, tell it to come up with a feud idea, or come up with like 10 different feud ideas, and I'll look through the results and see if there's anything interesting. They all might not be perfect, but maybe there's just a little bit of a detail in one of the ideas that it comes up with that makes you think, oh, maybe I won't do what it's giving me, but I can do this because it gave me a specific detail, and it sparks a new idea. Or maybe I'd give it the entire roster, and I'm like, come up with the next few feuds for a certain champion, and it gives you some great ideas. Make sure to try that out. And then for promos, it's pretty interesting too, because the free version of ChatGPT is a little bit dated, and even the paid version too. It's not perfect for superstars and promos and how they speak and everything, depending on what sort of character they're in at the moment, but it's pretty good. You can give it to superstars, give the background of what the promo should be about, why they're feuding, certain stuff like that, so specific details to help it be more influenced on what your direction is, and then have it play out. Reading that to yourself as you're seeing the promo happen in the universe mode, it makes it feel more in depth and makes your universe mode feel more alive and less stale. If you guys have any other ChatGPT tricks that you guys do, because some people I know already do it, let me know. I'd love to be able to make some better ideas from ChatGPT for my universe mode. And with that, I appreciate y'all checking out this video. If you have any other tips that you guys use that I didn't mention here, drop them in the comments below. Help everyone out. Let's all have fun universe mode and get out of this cycle of starting it up just to not end up playing it.